Hi everyone, here is Mr. Seif again in a new lesson which is collision. Let's get started. As you can see here, see what Mr. Seif. I need you to take a look. What is happening here? Did you see this before? Excellent. Company scored this goal by pushing the ball so strong in the goal. Excellent. But is this a lesson? Yes. This is our lesson. Crashing. When you crash the ball or crash any object, it causes motion. Okay, so when an object is affected by extra force by crashing like this, it moves. But there is a link between the collision, forces, and energy. What is this link? Let's discover. Previously, we are going to start by the link between collision and forms of energy through this video. If you have a piece of iron and you start hammering this piece of iron just like this after many times of hard collision and crashing, you're gonna discover something, which is, take a deep look, the piece of iron is turned into red. Many forms of energy are produced due to collision. Heat energy, light energy, and sound at the same time. So what does it mean, collision? Collision means crashing between any two objects, as you can see here. This is what's meant by collision. But there is energy exchange is happening during collision. Some energy forms are produced by the collision, such as sound due to crashing, or maybe sparks of light. That means light energy is produced. Sometimes, if it was a strong collision, heat energy is produced. But why we are studying collision? We know this. What's the life approach of this lesson? You have to keep in mind something. We do not study things because we need to solve questions in the exam only. Science is found to help you in your life, but how the collision helps me in my life? Take a look here. Sometimes you can make a crash with your car. This is kind of collision. If you crashed with another car, an accident is happening. So how to protect yourself during a collision? Excellent. You have two ways in the car to protect yourself. The first one is the airbag. As you can see here, the airbag is one of the equipments that found in car. We call it safety equipments. Safety equipments. It protects the driver during the collision. Protects the driver from crashing with the wheel in front here. It inflates. Inflates means get bigger. Okay? It inflates so fast and deflates slowly after the collision. So during the collision, the airbag inflates. And after the collision, the airbag deflates, but it deflates slowly. Other safety equipments in cars, such as seat belts, you have to put it because it prevents the driver from moving forward. The disaster is happening because of the driver moves forward. Maybe it crashes with the wheel or the glass. So the seat belt is to prevent the driver from moving forward. The airbag is to prevent the driver from crashing with the spinning wheel in front and the glass. The airbag found inside the wheel, it's folded inside the wheels. Maybe in some cars add both sides in the doors, but they are not found in the wheels. Why I do put some airbags in the wheels of the car? I don't need this. This is the accident when it's happening between two cars are moving in opposite direction. It's a disaster. How to keep yourself protected from such a kind of disasters? Don't forget your seat belt and the airbag. I have another question for you. You have here crashing between two cars and also here crashing between two cars. Which one of them is more stronger and more powerful? Take a look. It seems like the cars that are moving in opposite direction. So that means the collision is more strong when the objects that make the collision are moving in opposite direction. Just like this, it causes more harms. But on the other hand, we can find some of the collisions are happening in cars while they are moving in the same direction, but it's not that hard. It's not the disaster here. It's not the big disaster here. So when they are moving in the same direction, it causes less harms. Some factors cause increasing the harms of the collision, such as, what is this? When you increase the mass of the object, by increasing the mass, that means a big object that causes the Herms of the collision. So as we increase the mass, the collision increases and the Herms increases. It makes sense. The kinetic energy increases sometimes. That means the object is moving so fast. When it makes collision, it makes a hard collision. The third point is increases the amount of consumed fuel, because it's a tricky word. By increasing the amount of fuel, when the amount of fuel consumed increases, that means the car is moving so fast. So it moves so fast. This is why it uses lots of fuel. That means it's going to make a hard collision. So sometimes I'm not going to mention, is it moving so fast or no? I'm going to mention increasing the consumed fuel. That means the car is consuming lots of fuel. It moves very fast. But I'm not going to mention the speed. You have to understand this. So it consuming more fuel, that means it's moving so fast. So when it's moving so fast, it's going to make a hard collision. Finally, we have the advantages and disadvantages of collision. Humans sometimes uses the collision in the following activities. Number one, the wrecking ball. We use wrecking ball to knock down or to destroy the old buildings. It's useful for us to build a new one. Other times we use collision in sports to push the ball, or to use your bat in tennis or any sport to change the direction of the ball and score a point for you. The disadvantages of collision happens when you make an accident by your car. Actually, this is a disaster. Or when you crash when your friend, when you are moving in the playground, that hurts you. So this is simply the disadvantages of collision. That was the end of the lesson. Because you were amazing in the previous lesson and you were concentrating with me, I prepared this gift for you. But it's not just one game. I created all of these games for you. You can play any one of them. You can find the links of them below down the video. Just don't forget to give me a like, subscribe if you didn't make it. Feel free to ask me any question about any part you misunderstand and I can explain again for you. And let's try one together. The game is more than one level. I need you to read the question very well. Try to pick up the right answer from the balloons that are moving here on the screen and drop it down on the train. Let's do it together. Here, the distance divided time equals?
Amazing!
Right, it's speed. See you. Goodbye.